another one here to do with waterproofing membranes on a balcony. So we may have already covered it, but I'll just read through it in case there's something in there that you'd like to point out. I'm an owner of an apartment in a 5-story building. The plan of subdivision notes that the location of boundaries defined by buildings are all interior face. Does this mean that the waterproof membrane on my balcony, which has turned out to be not so waterproof after all, is my private property and therefore my responsibility to repair, or common property and the responsibility of the owner's corporation? The subpar membrane has also caused a couple of the tiles on my balcony to rise, and other lot owners in the building have similar issues.
Okay, good question. So when it comes to waterproofing, it really comes down to the boundary, and as mentioned, it is the internal face in this scenario. However, despite it being the internal face, there may be other conditions on the plan of subdivision or the strata plan that make reference to the location of waterproofing and tiles and that type of thing. So really important to look at the plan of subdivision strata plan in its entirety. If there's no conditions, then typically speaking, that the individual lot owner, if the boundary is internal face, interior face, the lot owner is responsible for the membrane. There is the Subdivision Registrar's Requirements Regulations 2011, which actually properly define the boundaries of a lot. So it talks about the interior face, the median face, and the external face. And it actually provides diagrams, and it goes into a bit of depth in regards to what is actually included and what's not. So whether it's the horizontal boundary being the membrane, or whether it's the vertical being the window boundary, it's really helpful actually. So my suggestion would be to consider that. But then there's also, I guess, the view that those regulations that came into effect, well, they were created in 2011, they may not be retrospective. However, if there is any, I guess, uncertainty about the boundary previously, my understanding is that lawyers do look upon those regulations and try to apply them, the logic retrospectively at VCAT, if it goes to there. So again, typically, yes, the lot owner would be responsible for the replacement of the membrane. However, there's a few other, I guess, tick boxes to tick to make sure that's the case.